we'll be covering the supplier compliance qualification assessment response and the score on Jagger. We'll run through how we would respond to the assessment and then how you'd be able to see your score after that. The compliance team will send out the online forms to you via Jagger, and when they do this you should get a notification via email, as they will select the contact who they would expect to get the email. So once that has been done at the compliance team side within the FCDO, you should receive an email which looks like this. You'll see there's two links on here. If you click this link here, this will take you directly to the login screen. Once you've passed the login screen, it will take you straight to the forms you need to complete. What we'll do is we will go into Jagger and we will go navigate via the menus. Just in case there's any issues with the email, this will show you how you can also get to the forms that you need to complete. So we're going to go to the Jagger homepage and you're going to log in. I'm doing this on the prep training system, so you'll notice that there's no two-factor authentication, but that's the only reason that you don't see that. You would obviously still have to do this. So once you've got into here, you can click on any one of the menus here on the side. I'm just going to click on the projects one, and it'll take me to here. Obviously I'm seeing stuff that is just related to test data, but the menu that we wanted to go to initially isn't on those first home screen options. So on the left hand side you will see a black menu, and there's obviously an icon with a tick next to it, which is my organisation. Excuse me. So when you click on that, you'll see there's options here in the drop down. We want to go to assessments and then editable assessments. You'll see here that it's got the organisation that sent it, it's got an assessment code. So to access this now, we need to click on the buyer organisation. So if we click on the Foreign Commonwealth Office, it is now taking us into the forms that we need to complete. If you had went via the email, once you had logged in, it would have brought you directly to this page. You'll see here you've got crosses next to ones you've completed or not completed. That will change to a green tick once it has completed, and it will also tell you if you've viewed them or not. So if we click on the first one here, and you'll see it takes us into the form, and you will start to populate the questions below. You'll see the ones with a star next to them are marked as mandatory. And if you click on the pencil in the top right hand corner, it will allow you to start completing these. The top right hand corner of the screen, you'll see save and next. So as you complete a form, you can then click save and next and move on to the next form and keep going until you've worked your way through all the forms. You can also see a save and exit. If you only have answers to so much at the moment, you can save the answers that you want to populate at this time and then exit. You don't need to complete all mandatory fields to save and exit, but you will need to do them when it comes to the time to return it back to the FCDO. I have pre-populated answers here because there's quite a few questions and it would take a long time in this video. So any questions as you go along, you'll see a browse button next to the attaching ones. If you click on the browse button, it allows you to select your file from your network. If there's a date required, that will then appear as soon as the file has been attached. And you'll see here on this first one that I've added a date here. And as I said, there'll be some attachments that don't need a date, but the ones that are going to expire after a certain period of time, you will be asked to put a date in. When you have numerous files to attach to a question, please create a zip folder with these files and then attach the question. The questions on these forms will only allow single attachments, so that's why they need to be zipped. And if you have a compulsory question that you need to answer and you don't have the process in place, please attach a file to say that or to prove that you're working towards this and the dates that you plan to achieve this. So you would work your way through all of these, scrolling down, making sure that all mandatory fields have been done, and then you would click Save and Next as you progress through all of the pages, completing all the responses that you need to. And once you have worked through all of this and you are ready to submit it back, you'll have completed all the mandatory fields. And when you've got through all of the forms that are needing to be completed, the Save and Next will actually take you right back to this screen. Once you've got through every one, as there was 8 forms, that's us now worked our way through all 8. And you'll see now we have green ticks next to the completion. And that means we've actually completed these. The final one, it won't have a tick or a cross. So you don't need to worry about that one, but the rest of them will have a tick mark against them. And it's actually based on the mandatory fields. And the final form, which is form number 8, doesn't have a mandatory field, so there's no completion against that. So once you're happy to submit this, we'll do that in the top right hand corner. But as I was saying, if you only do so much just now and save it, you'll come back here, you'll see what is saved and what is completed and what isn't. And then you can log out, and then when you come back in, you just access it the same way by going to the side menu here, your assessments, then editable assessments, and then picking up the FCDO one. And it'll take you back into this, and then you can keep completing it as long as it takes you to complete it until you're ready to send it back. So once we have done all that, we're then going to click Return Forms to Buyer. It's going to say that it's going to send it back, and they will no longer be editable because it has been submitted, and we're going to click OK. You'll see that this has now disappeared, and the reason this is no longer in your editable assessments is because it is no longer editable. This will go back to the FCDO, and when they go through the responses, if there's any responses that need to be changed or updated, or they need more information from you, they will then send those forms back to you, and you will get the same email again that we looked at previously, this email here, to notify that you've got forms to complete. And then you'll be able to find them in this section, and it'll just keep going until you get to the point where you've got full compliance. You'll respond, it'll go back. Once the FCDO are happy with it, then that'll be it done. It'll get its final scoring. But this is the place that you'll always come back to complete forms and return them until you get to the final point of compliance. So once we've obviously returned the form, and now it's been through its whole journey, and now we're going to look at the scoring. So we'll pick this back up at looking at the scorecard once it's been completed by the FCDO. Navigate to the scorecard once it's been completed. You will go to the side menu again, and the same icon we selected before. I'm just picking up from where we were with the editable assessments, but the likelihood is you'll have logged out and logged back in by then, by the time the scoring's happened, because it's not going to happen immediately. So you would go again to this icon, you'll see scorecards, and then you're going to click qualification scorecards. In here you'll see again the organisation name listed. It'll tell you the target score and an average over the last 12 months, or the last 12 scorecards, and you'll see your score, your current score. We're going to click on the organisation name, and you'll see if you click on forms and scorecard form, this will show you your score. And if this was sitting, well, as you can see, it's 100%, and anything that's not going to make 100%, the FCDO would have been back in touch. But if this wasn't sitting at 100%, you could go down here and you'd be able to see what is sitting at a lesser score and you'd be able to see that the section would actually be marked not at 100 as well. So you can see each score for individual question, and you can also see the score for the section. And this is how you'd come in and view your scorecard after it's been done. There's also a trend here, which doesn't actually display anything for us right now because this one has only ever been 100%. But if there'd been a difference or less scores, and so if you had a scorecard that's now and then a scorecard later, it would show you the trend between those two scorecards with graphs and categories, and it just gives a bit more of a graphic to the data rather than just looking at the form. But to get the detail of what's maybe not been marked at 100%, the scorecard form is going to be the best one to look at, and you'll see at the top the total score. So this is where you'd come to see your scorecard once the assessment has been scored. And that's it for this video. So this has covered the responding to the assessment. Also, if the assessment, any forms get sent back, they will return to the same place. You will get the same email to go back into them and complete them again, and keep going back and forth until we're happy with the final response. Once that's been done, you'll then wait on the compliance team at the FCDO doing their scoring. Once the scoring has been done, then you'll have full visibility of the scorecard and how it's been scored. And the next video will now pick up on a contract scorecard and how you would respond to that and how it looks at the end as well. Very similar to this, but we'll pick that up in a separate video. Thank you.